A French government source was telling Libération newspaper here in France that there were three main conditions that Gbagbo was putting forward. Firstly, that he wanted to stay in Ivory Coast when this was all over. Number two, that he wanted United Nations protection. And three, he wanted to keep his residence in Cocody in Abidjan. And those were conditions which reportedly were unacceptable to Alassane Ouattara. We also heard Laurent Gbagbo on our sister channel, Radio France International, on the radio yesterday, talking about how he wanted to still sit down and talk to Ouattara and try to find a political settlement. Obviously, the time for that is well past, and it is now really a question of deciding on what terms he's going to leave, whether he'll stay in Ivory Coast, and if not, where will he go. But clearly, for Ouattara, the idea that he could keep the residence at Cocody in itself would be a major provocation. And of course, what Ouattara camp wants to avoid at all costs is for him to have any kind of real influence in the country. If he does stay there, that he would not be able to, for example, pull the strings and get militias out on the streets, or have some kind of influence on the young patriots that are led by Charles Blé Goudet.
How important is it for Laurent Gbagbo to go voluntarily? Why don't international troops just go in and get him?
Well, the reports late this morning are that they're trying to do exactly that. But of course, one of the things that might be holding them back is the fear that some of his supporters might start to reactivate a pro-Gbagbo rearguard action in pockets of Abidjan. Of course, it's hard to tell exactly what's going on behind the Ouattara lines, but it's only reasonable to expect that these militias, there are various kinds of groups there, could well, come out of their spots and start attacking civilians, or start attacking the new forces of, the Republican forces, as they're now called, of Alassane Ouattara. So there's obviously this mentality of his most diehard supporters, those that are not in the compound itself, but elsewhere in Abidjan, perhaps thinking, well, as long as he hasn't given himself up, I'm not going to give up either.